background for the Super Bowl on Sunday. Since it's in San Francisco, and I'm assuming that's the Golden Gate Bridge. What I'm going to try to do is share my screen with you. We're going to try that again and see if I can show you and talk with you about right here. Okay, so I'm going to share this. All right, so you should be able to see this screen. And this is a former student that did her presentation, and I've erased her name. I was just going to kind of go over it with you and kind of show you what she's done on her first one. And I don't know that it'll play, but let's just see if it will.
Hello, I am Maddie Bryant, and I will be recording my final presentation for BBA 435, Personal Finance.
All right, so she just talked about that was her introductory slide, and she did hers in PowerPoint. So if you're not sure how to do it in PowerPoint, shoot me an email and I will walk you through how to record it in PowerPoint. You can upload it to YouTube, drag it over there, and then put it in a video, or you can upload it and just send me the PowerPoint in Canvas. All right, so let me just kind of go over each slide. I'm not going to do it as a show. All right, so chapter 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2. This was her short-term goals. Notice she used SMART art, specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, time-based. Now, she did not put what her short-term goal, her 80-minute, intermediate, or her long-term. That is where you talk about it. So she said, okay, my short-term goal is to graduate in May, and then I'm going to start an emergency fund. So within a year, then she will have that done. I'm not sure, I don't remember what it was. And you notice right here, this is where it's showing that she recorded each slide. Let me see if it'll play for you just a little bit.
My SMART short-term goal, which I hope to accomplish in 1 year, is to save $100 a month.
Okay, so see, she's going to save $100 a month.
$1,200. I was than most people. I've also paid off my car, so my emergency fund will only need to cover my.
All right, so that's kind of what she's doing. And you don't have to have your picture on every slide, just on that first slide. And it doesn't have to be the video, it can just be a picture if you want to put it in. All right, then in chapter 3, here was how she is going to talk about. She's going to start a flexible health savings account, FHS, or HSA account through her employer. Then she's looking at some long-term strategy. She's going to start investing in a Roth IRA. And you will know by the end of this semester, I love Roth IRAs because it's tax-free money. Any interest you get on a Roth IRA is tax-free. And then she wants to also invest in municipal bonds, which we will talk about in chapter 11 and 12, I think. All right. Then chapter 5, we skipped chapter 4. Chapter 5 was the scenario, and that scenario is posted in Canvas. You've got to look down there to find it. What were some of Chris's warning signs of debt? He was buying a brand new car. He had impulse purchasing, failure. He didn't even have a budget, much less stick to it. All right. Then here is where she actually used a graph. You got to have a graph in your presentation. So she actually compared the cost of owning an electric car to the cost of owning a gas vehicle, and what it was the difference in fuel car and upkeep and all of that. So she showed me what hers was, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she said, no, I'm going with a gas car for over 5 years. I'm not ready for an electric vehicle. Then she talked about did a comparison. Here's another chart that she made and used. You can do this through Excel, or you can actually insert a chart in Word and or PowerPoint, do an insert. And she did, all right, both of them have monthly payments. Both of them, you have to have insurance. For renting, you don't have to have a down payment. But now, what I called her out on that one was, it may not be a down payment, but you have to have your first month and your last month in advance. So that's about the cost of a down payment. HOA and maintenance, yes, you do have that with buying but not renting. Property taxes, and then inflation risk. So, one thing she didn't put on there was that she didn't compare buying with renting as far as taxes, because if you're buying a home you get to take off the you're building equity that you can get back, and you're also getting taxes on your insure or on your federal taxes. This was seven buying a car, about insurance and what she thought she needed. So after looking at the chapter, she decided, she's got to have bodily insurance, comprehensive, and different things like that. Then chapter 8 was she talked about the three different types of insurance, and there are more, but these are your three most popular ones. And if I'm not mistaken, she's single, so she went with the HMO, which is your health maintenance organization. Your POS is point of service, and then your PPO is preferred provider organizations. So she went with HMO, but there are a couple of others that you can look at. Then she talked, I loved her little casket here. She talked about the different types of insurance, whole life versus term life. One thing I want to point out, and I'll talk about it when I talk about your weekly overview, is if as a young person, if you're not married and you can get um, life insurance through your company, it's very, very cheap. Do that and worry about whole life or term life when you get married. Um, and then the next one was chapter 11, where what are some of the risks that you need to think about for your investments when you're getting ready to start investing? What are some of the risks? There are more than three, but these were the three that she focused on. How tolerant would you be to risk? What is your time frame, and can you liquefy? Can you, if something came up and you had to get rid of it, what is the stock or bond, what is their return that you could get for that? And then 11 and or chapter 12 and 13, she talked about the exchange traded funds. These are ETFs, and this is not, this is what Dave Ramsey looks at a lot, is these growth in income, growth, aggressive growth, and international. He wants you to look at that fund before you decide what you want to invest in. Um, I'm one, I don't invest anymore at my age. Yeah, I've got all my investments secured. But when I was investing, I looked at stocks and I look at bonds. Those were the ones that I liked. Bonds, you get a higher rate of return on, but sometimes they can be risky. So things like that. And then chapter 14 was types of IRAs, and then we want to talk about that. Now, with her, and this is one of the questions, and I think it was chapter 11 was investing. I changed it. I change every time I teach this, and they didn't have to tell me what if they were inherited $50,000, what would they do with it? And so that's why hers is ETFs and not what would you do with $50,000. So, and then 13 was the summary. And this is just, she said, this is being an informed consumer. These were some of the things that she talked about that were of interest to her that she had no prior knowledge about. So that was her summary. You have to have a summary slide. And then her reference slide, there were her three. She used Kapoor. She used Dave Ramsey, which was I think it was website, and then here was an electric versus gas. So you got to have three references. So 14 slides all together. It must be narrated. So again, let me go up here. I'm gonna come up here. Let me slide up here, and I'm gonna just insert a new slide. let me go, let's see here. Okay, new slide, and I'm just going to do title. All right. And how to record. Whoops. In PowerPoint. All right. So if you're in PowerPoint, if you will come up here to your record button, you can record from the beginning or you can do current slide. Then after you've recorded it, you can do save as a show, which will actually save it as a loop to PowerPoint, or you can export it to video, and then that's where the one you can upload into Canvas, or it's an MP4, or you can put it in how am I thinking? In YouTube. So I'm hoping this will help you and that you know how to do it. Don't use hers. And again, this is to be done as you. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Tell me what you really feel like. What are your goals? What would be some tax things that you can minimize your taxes? For what I can do to minimize was going to be different from you. What would be the signs of debt? Those are the things I do. That is one thing that you should all agree with. Gas versus electric. What is you may have an electric car. If it is, tell me why you selected an electric car versus a gas car. So again, it is all based on you. No right answers, no wrong answers. This is for you to look back over what we did in the class and decide, yes, this helped me. So let me stop sharing. And I'm back. I'm going to stop that one. And don't save it. Okay, so I hope this answers. I've had a couple of you send emails like, how do I do this? So I hope this helps you. Thanks a lot.